Am I the asshole for assuming my daughter could have a third plate? Very, please, sir, may I have some more? What is that from? It's some Charles Dickens something. Somebody let me know. Throw away because sister knows my Reddit, and I don't want this causing drama. I can't even imagine my family having a hold of my Reddit, you know? Nothing really embarrassing. They'd probably be like, why are you leaving such stupid comments? And I'd be like, that's how this subreddit works. Do I really need to explain? Whatever. Yesterday, my sister hosted a family dinner at her house. It was one of those just because dinners, no special occasion. My sister is a great cook, and she made tons of food for that one night. My daughter was on her second plate by the end of the night. Once she finished, she asked if she could get another one. I said yes. Why did you say yes? Wouldn't that be on the aunt to answer that question? But my sister, her aunt, looked at her with a shocked expression and said, another plate? My daughter turned around and gave me a somewhat uncomfortable look. My daughter is 16 and has 2 part-time jobs to pay for some of her college tuition. Damn, she out there working. So she usually doesn't eat until 7 or 8 p.m. So I didn't even blink twice when she got up to grab her third plate. I mean, I don't think, like, you're not a huge asshole per se. Your daughter's definitely not an asshole. Like, that reaction from your aunt is interesting. But your aunt should have answered the question. Who knows what the remaining food was for, you know? Maybe she wanted leftovers. You know what I mean? I could understand that. Like, or maybe she wanted like leftovers for work, or maybe she wanted maybe she made enough so that they could eat that for 2 days in a row. So I can understand maybe like limiting the third plate. But I don't know. I turned to my sister and said she's been working all day without anything to eat. Oh, mad diet, baby. You made tons of food. It won't hurt for her to get another plate. My sister started yelling, saying something about how it wasn't my place to say if my daughter could get more food that she made. I get that's fair. What's the history here? Has she been asking for third plates for a while? I'm feeling that mad diet, you know what I mean? Getting all the calories in like an hour period during the day and basically just fasting the rest. That's the easiest way to lose weight for me. I swear since 2020, I just can't get my face to not be so fat anymore. And it's literally just a matter of losing the weight, you know? It's much easier to lift at the gym, but dear God, man, my face is looking so fat, you know? But I don't know. It is what it is. You obviously have a different, like at my grandma's house, you know what I'm saying? You can get a third or fourth plate. She won't even ask. Or you don't even have to ask. She'll ask you. She'll get the plate. I swear if I still lived in the city that my family lived in or lives in during the pandemic, I'd weigh 350 pounds. But anyways, every family's different. Nothing wrong with asking. But anyways, my daughter ended up not getting another plate. Oh, wait, hold on. Wasn't in place. My daughter came out. Now I do somewhat agree with that and might be the a-hole because of that. Looking back, I'm thinking maybe I should have asked. I think asking would have been fair, though. You're not like a huge asshole in my eyes, but for sure, it would have made more sense to ask the person that made the food because you don't know what they want those leftovers for. You know what I mean? But I don't know. I feel like your daughter's going to feel real bad about this. My daughter ended up not getting another plate and the vibe was awkward now. So we just decided to go. Before we left out the door, my sister stopped me and told me I should have taught my daughter manners and how it isn't right to get more than one plate at someone else's house. So they were already mad after the first plate. But like, I don't know, man. Like, how often does this happen? I mean, I understand if they keep going up to get plates and you're like, dear God, I'm not made of money. But there's also a part of me that's like, it sounded like she asked for a third plate. But anyways, I told my sister she was being ridiculous and somehow our voices... A second plate is not really that concerning to me. You know what I mean? Second plate? A third plate? Okay, ask. First and second? I don't know. I guess it depends on the budget. I told my sister she was being ridiculous and somehow our voices got loud enough to where my mom started to hear us in the small corner. She came over and started telling me she agreed with my sister and it was rude for my daughter to eat that many plates. I started to get fed up when they began telling me I wasn't teaching her proper manners, so I left. Then, of course, they began texting my phone saying how it was rude to leave in the middle of a conversation. You can't avoid it. I don't think I was the a-hole at all for leaving because I wasn't going to stay in a place where I felt disrespected, but I'm not sure about the plate thing. So I'm the asshole for assuming my daughter could get another plate. Maybe a slight asshole on just assuming your daughter could get the third plate, but she asked. The aunt should have been the one to answer. I don't think it's necessarily rude to want a third plate. If anything, that's a compliment. But yeah, you know, if you've had 1 to 2 plates, maybe you ask for the third. Fair enough. It sounds like she did ask for the third. The problem is you answered for the aunt. Had everyone else had a chance to get food? Also, was the third plate going to finish off the rest of the food? Everyone else was pretty much done with their meal after the second portion. We all finished at the same time, and no, there was plenty of food left. Thank you for asking. That would definitely make you not the asshole. Well, let's switch to controversial. You know? I'd imagine this is one of those stories where the person, like, even if you kind of think she's a little bit of an asshole for just assuming that her daughter could get a third plate, she's not enough of an asshole for anyone to get, like, super heated and passionate. But let's see. Does your daughter typically go all day without eating until 7 p.m., no breakfast or lunch? If that's the case, then you're the asshole for not feeding your kid. Somebody wasn't a latchkey kid. Hey, we make things work, man. Sometimes mom works 2 jobs. You know what I'm saying? So you got to figure it out. It isn't rude if her daughter isn't eating. Her mom is still legally responsible for feeding her. Yeah, but you could be busy. The kid is working 2 jobs, man. Part of the reason I went on the OMAD diet back in the day is because I was working so much that I really only had the time to eat once a day. But anyways, I don't know. Everyone has different... I was a latchkey kid, so I was already kind of on a different whatever. Everyone sucks here. I can see where your sister is coming from. It's a faux pas. It is a faux pas of sort in the U.S. to go for that many helpings. Like I said, totally depends. It's not a faux pas at my grandma's house, and she's very American. For one, your sister may have had plans for leftovers and meals for her family. I get that, right? I said that. We don't really need to cover that part. It is not a faux pas to eat until you're full at your family's house. After seconds, it's polite to ask the host. I could agree to this. If you've had a second plate, but this is more like I've already eaten a lot of food, you know, I'm going to ask just because it's like now I'm eating like a lot of food. But, no. Even if the food is still out and just sitting there, why wouldn't you just stash it away at the start if it's not supposed to be available? Because a host putting away food is commonly perceived as a sign that the party is winding down. It's time for people to go home. You're the a-hole for wasting my time on this fake-ass bullshit story. Everything is fake here. I'm just getting tired of it. You don't believe the 16-year-old college student with 2 jobs attended a just because dinner and then ate 3 plates of food? It's so believable. And yes, 3 plates of food is rude at someone else's house. Why did you type out ass and bullshit but abbreviate asshole? That's a good question. I have no good answer. Why is it that every post I read, even the tame ones that are most likely not fake at all, like this one is not ridiculous enough for me to think it's fake. You know what I mean? Why is it that under every post, it's like, oh, this is a fake-ass story. Third helping is a little cheeky. But also, I do believe that judging a child, teenager's food consumption like this isn't great and often leads to more harm than good. Probably. But as a boy... Boys don't really have to worry about that all that much. I think girls have to worry about that more because like they get judged for eating a lot, whereas boys it's like, well, he's gonna grow up and be big and strong, and all they ever say to girls is that they're gonna get fat. I've seen it. Clearly raised in different communities. In mine, it's super rude not to have enough food for your guests. That's third plate. Yeah, if there was a scarcity of food, I could get your sister complaining, though personally at a family gathering, I care more about the kids being satisfied than the adults, but that's just me. You're my grandma. But it sounds like she learned how to be a bitch from your mother, so there's that. I mean, I can, like, you know, it feels like it's blatantly obvious to me. Just blatantly obvious that, like, maybe a slight hint of asshole for you answering even though your sister, her aunt, made the food. But the daughter's definitely not an asshole. And them being weird and saying that the daughter is impolite and rude, even though she asked, is strange, you know? But we obviously have different families. And your sister is not my grandma, who is like, have a 5th or a 6th serving. Little buddy, do you want cake too? So anyways, no. There's just, you're not enough of an asshole for me to get really heated, but it is what it is.